before going to my argument, I'm going to read it from the opening performance. Firstly, let me say that time is value about children. You know, time is value is different level of the children, because you know that in the Quran Surah An-Nur, verse 58, it tells us that the children must be given education sec before they go into the adult. This one, we have to know that there are three things in the surah that taught us that we have to teach them about. Firstly, the children might not go to the parents' room in 3 times. It's like in the morning, even subuh, and then it's in the middle of the night is isha, and then in the middle of the afternoon is in the 12th. This one, we have to teach the student, we have to teach the children in time in order to know not to come in parents' room in that time, because we don't know, as the children sometimes they go to the room and then they open the door and they see the parents something like that. So it's not good for the children. That's why we have to teach them. And then the second one, that's why by giving the education, if the government,
would you like to keep away from the mic so we can listen to you?
Just stand there. Don't lean your body to the microphone.
The second one, for the time of, the second one for the opening opposition, they said that giving the education sec for the 10, it's going to be sensitively. That's why, because of education, you can go to the good thing. It means you know about how to avoid the legal side of it. That's why we have to teach the 10 for our children to know about education sex. And then, let's go to the actually, As you know, that this house would teach sex education from the age of 10. This is very important for us that we have to know about the healthy and safety for the children. Because what is healthy and safety? Because the first one, the children are aware of their body. It means when they know the bad thing from sex, from the education, they will avoid it from that children until they go to the teenager. And then the importance of hygienics, like what the government said before, that we have to keep the hygienics. It means it's going to be the relationship with their friend. In Islam, mentioned that we may not gather with the other muhrim. It means with the other man or other girl. It's teach from their children, because as we know that the importance of sexual health, when they know from their children, absolutely the children will know how to avoid. The second one of mentioning is about the prevention of abuse. For the children who teach about the education sex from 10, it's for preparing for the teenager not to come in that thing with other girl or something like that. This is also about the behavior. We are as Muslim, we are absolutely very educated not to do a bad thing from that sex, legal sex, and then it's going to protect themselves, I mean the children. Ladies and gentlemen, responsible relationship. This is, we have to respect the rule of religion, Muslim, that we may not sit in the other gender, expect our Muslim. It's like that tell us what I was saying the first time that in the Surah An-Nur verse 58 that the education sex for children, it must be given when they were child. That's all from me as the member of the government. We have to know that from this motion, I'm as member of government with the government that the motion must be endorsed. Thank you.
The member of the government stands time 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Next, I would like to call the member of the opposition to deliver their speech. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Before I start my session, I want to ask to the government that if something or the teacher or someone, for example, do you think parents will just let their child teach something such as sex education or something else without their consent? The parent will not get angry, or the parent just say, oh, it's just something normal. Of course not. Because parent is one of not the most impactful teacher of the new generation or the old child. Now, I stand firmly that sex education is by all means have right to. Okay.
You mentioned that you are afraid that the parents will not be okay with the sex education being provided to the children. But we propose that their justification is not about the genitals and so on and so forth. The sex education we will deliver is about the basic, the fundamentals of sex education.
As you say, what I say is will parents get angry if something such as sex education, not just sex education, this is just a metaphor. If someone tells your kid about sex education without their consent, will they get angry? Of course they will angry because that is their child. So, I continue. I stand that the parents is the parent's right to give their child the sex education. Why? Because the parent is one of the most impactful figures in their own child. Why? Because they know their child. How can a teacher know a child's mental and physical psychology without their parent knowledge? The parent know that, oh, my child is, even though they are 13 or 10, maybe they do not have the mental and physical capability to learn the sex education because the parent know. The parent are there. The parent with them all their life. So the parent will know when and where to teach them what them. First one is about mental and physical condition of the child that the parent and only parent know because the parent is with them forever. Until the death. No? Sorry. Okay. And also, you do know that you say that that the teacher can control and the parent cannot be controlled because most of the time the parent is also the abuser of some kind of sex related content. Okay? But how can you say the teacher are not one of them? The teacher is also one that can be the sex abuser. Because it's just human nature. You cannot provide that the teacher will give something like the proper way to teach them because we don't know. Maybe some teacher just teach about by the book. They did not teach. Then when some child will ask, what is this? And then the teacher just said to you. Because the teacher did not care. Some teacher did not care everything. But the parent, if someone as you say, that maybe the child see the parent doing something like that, okay? But it is heavily implied that the parent will teach them after that because the child can see them. It is common knowledge. And then, how to say that the values of the parent, if we do not ask permission of consent to the parent when we teach anything, not just sex education, that will crush and destroy the mutual relationship of the teacher and the parent. And therefore, then will be caused more pain. Not just the segregation, maybe the parent will not let their child go to school because they are afraid. Parent is natural to be afraid that their child will be teaches or will become something that they do not want. That's why I stand firmly again that this house did not agree that sex education will be teach and regardless of the parental consent. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The member of the opposition spends time 5 minutes and 32 seconds. To respond, I would like to call the government rep to deliver the speech. Time is all yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ladies and gentlemen, the honorable judges, to respond the argument from the opposing opposition and the organization that does the parent will let us to teach children about sexual education. Don't we realize that there are a lot of sexual content floating around in the social media, but the parents will give consent to them. But if the education do this sexual education wisely to the children, why won't they let the educator to give us the consent to teach the children about sexual education? No? Okay? And we will start our argument now. The sexual education in there is not about sexual intercourse, correct? In sexual education in there, we teach the children about prevention of abuse, to educate the knowledge, to give the knowledge, to make children recognize the form of abuse, inappropriate behavior, so they will understand if there are any moves that are close to abuse, they will recognize it, so they can report it to those who have consent. So, prevention of abuse will promote safety and security among children. And then, not only that, but also we teach responsible relationship, teaching consent and respect from the early age. Teaching the children from the early age, they will know, they will understand about sexual education, since knowledge, so they will understand when they are adult. Nowadays, there are a lot of cases that high schooler got pregnant. We need to prevent such cases to happen, especially in high school, because Islam wants us to always prevent zina. An education at young age will help to educate children for responsible relationship. So they will be more responsible to take relationship. They will be more responsible to do things when they are adult. And to answer the opposition that about emotional support of the children, the psychology of children, we can adapt the education of sexual education in school with local cultural tradition, moral, and also help from psychologists. Ladies and gentlemen, not only that, we believe that teaching sexual education will improve the social awareness to the children. Okay,
Okay, give an example of the kind of sex content on social media. So how will you respond to sex harassment which happen in school?
The sexual harassment in school happens because there are no information, there are no knowledge about sexual harassment, but sometimes without sexual education, with sexual education, they will be more brave to report. So to prevent those, we give them sexual education, so they will be brave to report if there are any advancements that are almost abused. About social awareness and to give them sexual knowledge, to give them understanding in diversity of identity, orientation, and gender roles. Teach tolerance, acceptance, and empathy. There are men and we must always respect each other. As like Islamic teaching to teach about compassion, that's Allah Himself. It's Allah Him which is the most compassionate. And hadith from the Tirmidhi which said, love those who are on earth, you will be loved by those who are on the sky. So we as a Muslim, we will always teach about compassion and we always do compassion. And not only that, we will also prevent misinformation about sexual education, sorry, about sexual intercourse. There are a lot of things that we can teach to the student, to educate the student, to educate the children. Giving knowledge, promote awareness to each other. Giving knowledge to each other as aligned with the best of human are those who are benefit to others. Teaching information knowledge and not knowledge children will meet in the future when they are adult. So we, as the government, we agree, we support with this motion because we believe there are more benefit to teach sex education to children than the bad. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The government whip spends time 5 minutes and 12 seconds. To close the case, I would like to call the opposition whip to deliver the speech. Time is yours.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Before I start my summarizing or my argument, I would like to clarify what the government have already said. They said and focus to the methods, the people, the children, all of the objects, but they forget to the solution that can solve the problem. And next, by giving attention to this debate, I would like to summarize what the government and opposition side said to the motion. First, the government has said that teaching sex education is useful to how to maintain and understand our body to be protected. And they said that we can control the people or the teacher. And the opposition said, they said teaching sex education is obligation of parents. And the curriculum in Indonesia is not good and not ready, especially for teaching sex education from age of 10 to 11% of parental consent. So, and my teammates have said that the summary of my debate is about the values and the obligation parents or culture. Teaching sex education at young age without parental permission can violate certain beliefs or values held by the family. And this can cause controversy and discomfort as well as create conflict with parents' right to educate their children according to family values. And emotional is about emotional and psychological maturity. Some children may not be emotionally or physically ready to receive sexual information at the age of 10. Providing complex sexual information to early can cause anxiety or confusion in children. And the curriculum and the teacher sustainability. Not all teachers are trained or prepared to teach this sensitive topic at an early age. Sustainability of curriculum and appropriate teaching at its age level is challenge that must be overcome. So, my summary is teaching sex education of the age of 10 without parental permission has several consequences. With considering first, early sex education can spread controversy over values or and benefit, which may conflict with the values and benefit held by some families. And they cause discomfort and conflict between school and parents. So that's why we need the solution. Like making socialization between to make a good relationship between the parents and the teacher to teach the sex education. So, and as the first opening opposition said, that because teaching sex education is parent obligation. Second, there are concerns about the emotional and physiological maturity of children is that in receiving sexual information at the age of 10.
providing complex sexual information. No, thank you. Too early because excessive confusion and misunderstanding in children. This may not be emotionally or psychologically ready to receive highly detailed sex education material, so providing it too early can be determined to the holistic development. So, and this is suitable with Surah Al-Isra verse 36. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wala taqfu ma laysa laka bihi ilm, inna sam'a wal basara wal fu'ada kullu ulaika kana anhu mas'ula. And do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. Indeed, the hearing, the sight, and the heard about all those will be questioned. And so that's why we oppose the motion that this house would teach sex education from the age of 10, regardless of the parental consent. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The opposition whip spends time 4 minutes and 13 seconds. One of the speakers already gave and already argued in the debated cases. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally arrived at the end of the 8th match. Thank you once again to all the speakers for their amazing speeches. I'm your moderator, Singaporean. See you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All the speakers